From players losing their cool and tossing a blow-up that would make toddlers blush to miraculous shots that defy belief and even physics, the US Open has seen it all. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive into a roller coaster of stories where rackets fly, tempers flare, and tennis is anything but ordinary. These are the 5 craziest moments in US Open tennis history. Let's get into it. Connors. Jimmy Connors, the man who practically invented tennis passion, gave the world a birthday present on his 39th like no other. In '91, he rolled into the US Open as a wild card, the ultimate underdog. He wasn't just there to make up the numbers, he was there to set the court on fire. On that Labor Day, he faced Aaron Krickstein and found himself trailing 2-1, but the magic happened during a second set tiebreaker. Connors, never one to keep his thoughts to himself, unleashed a verbal attack of epic proportions when the chief umpire called a shot out that might have just brushed the line. This was vintage Connors, fiery, relentless, and just a bit bonkers. But you know what? The outburst, as crazy as it was, might have been the secret sauce he needed. The man came back from the brink, winning that marathon match that lasted almost 5 hours. Connors didn't just win that match, he won the hearts of every tennis fan. It was a birthday celebration that nobody will ever forget. Happy 39th, Jimmy. You showed the world that age is just a number and passion knows no bounds. Serena Williams threatens a lineswoman during the '09 semifinals. Next up, the 2009 US Open, the stage for a Serena Williams moment that left tennis fans in awe. In a women's semifinal showdown trailing Kim Clijsters and facing match point, Serena didn't just let her racket do the talking. No, she decided to wrap things up on a foot fault, a rarity in itself. As if that weren't enough, Serena approached the lineswoman who called the fault and, well, let's just say she didn't invite her for tea. Serena dropped some F-bombs that could have set off the Richter scales. "I swear to God, I going to take this blank ball and shove it down your blanking throat," he said. Subtle, right? The lineswoman, however, seemed to have a sense of humor or nerves of steel and nodded in response, but that wasn't the end of it. Serena argued that others had said worse, trying to pull the "I'm not the only one" card. The lineswoman then decided to nod her way into history, and the chair umpire slapped Serena with a penalty point, ending the match. Serena brought the drama, the tension, and the colorful vocabulary to a tennis court like no one else. It was a match that ended on a foot fault and a fiery rant. Serena was the ultimate showstopper, even if the show ended with a penalty point. Game, set, drama. Roger Federer loses his cool and curses at the chair umpire in the '09 finals. But even the calmest of waters can get stormy sometimes, and in 2009, Roger Federer proved that he's not immune to a little thunder and lightning on the court. It was the finals and he was facing off against Juan Martín del Potro. Federer, usually the definition of calm, lost his cool when Del Potro took his sweet time deciding the challenges. As frustration bubbled, the chair umpire's suggestion that he tone it down poured fuel on the fire. Federer, rarely one to express his feelings so openly, shot back. "Don't tell me to be quiet, okay? When I want to talk, I'll talk. I don't give a blank what he said. I'm just saying he's waiting too long. Don't blank tell me the rules." And just like that, the usually composed Federer unleashed a verbal storm that had the crowd buzzing. It was a moment when the Swiss maestro said, "You know what? I've had enough of this." It was a peek into his fierce determination and the competitive spirit that burns beneath the calm exterior. While Roger may have temporarily thrown the rulebook out of the window, it did show that even the coolest of champions can let the heat of the moment get to them. Because it's tennis, it's sports, it's not just about aces and backhands, it's about the occasional verbal volley too. Chaos ensues during the McEnroe Năstase match in '79.
You cannot be serious! That ball is on the line! Short blew up!
Let me take you back to the '79 McEnroe Năstase showdown. A true masterclass in how to turn a tennis match into a circus without even juggling any balls. You see, we could dive into the nitty-gritty of this chaotic spectacle, but let's just stay on the surface. That's where the real fun happens. So picture this. McEnroe, ever the patient soul, took his sweet time between points. Năstase, well, he was having none of it. In a moment of pure theatrical genius, he lay down on the court, used his racket as a pillow, and started a little pretend nap. The chair umpire, trying to be the voice of reason, threw a warning his way, and Năstase got a penalty point. And then, in the grand finale of absurdity, Năstase seemingly decided he'd had enough of this circus, refused to continue, and bam, the official announced default. Mr. Năstase, game, set, and match, Mr. McEnroe. But the show wasn't over, not by a long shot. You see, the crowd, probably thinking they'd accidentally bought tickets to a slapstick comedy instead of a tennis match, started tossing beer cans and whatever else they had onto the court. It was chaos, and it took a team of New York's finest to restore order. So in just 18 short minutes, McEnroe and Năstase managed to turn a tennis court into a full-fledged 3-ring circus, complete with a pretend nap and flying beer cans. Who needs a tennis match when you can have a sideshow like this, am I right? Roger Federer hit the greatest shot of all time in 2009, and then he did it again the following year. So our next one, Roger Federer, the master of defying physics on the tennis court. In 2009, during the US Open semifinal against Novak Djokovic, Federer served up a shot that left the entire tennis world in awe. It was during the final game, just to make it even more dramatic. Federer crashed the net to retrieve a drop shot by Djokovic, who then decided to be cheeky and lobbed the ball over Federer's head. Now, most mortals would have just given up, but not our Roger. With his back turned to the net, he hit the ball between his legs, past Djokovic, and right into the annals of tennis history, setting up a match point. Now let's fast forward to 2010, and Federer pulled off a deja vu moment against Argentina's Brian Daboul. Daboul, probably thinking lightning doesn't strike twice, sent a lob over Federer's head again, and just like the previous year, Federer, with his back facing the net, sprinted towards the backstop of Arthur Ashe Stadium and delivered an encore performance, hitting the ball between his legs and past Daboul. It was as if Federer had a magical between the legs button hidden on his person, ready to push it whenever he wanted to blow our minds. Tennis fans couldn't believe their eyes, watching the Swiss maestro orchestrate not one, but 2 moments that made the laws of physics seem optional. Federer defying gravity and logic one between the legs shot at a time. Who needs conventional tennis strokes when you can just dazzle the crowd with the impossible? What would you say is your pick on the craziest moment? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button for more content. We'll see you in the next one.